Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. Got a few stories for you in this latest Moon Lambo Hot Jam. How about this headline? We'll be starting with this one. New Ripple report reveals 76% of financial institutions expect to use crypto by 2025. Whoa, I gotta admit, like that's sooner than I would expect for that high of a percentage of financial institutions utilizing crypto in any capacity. Frankly, that's quick, and I can only imagine what that's going to do if that actually comes to pass. If it does, can you imagine the amount of money flowing in, even if it's just a small overall percentage of the cash? My gosh, you know what that does is supply and demand. You know, people bid up price. It's crazy. And then if you're like me and you think that utility actually matters, well, as it pertains to Ripple, this is important. And I'd still argue this is any sort of actual real world utility should be important for anybody that has a vested interest in the long-term health and viability of the XRP ecosystem. But what's going to happen as all of this flows in, like substantial increase in liquidity. And that means that you can use XRP as a bridge currency to a much greater degree. And I'll explain what I mean as we get into this video. Also, there is this article from You Today that highlighted features of a particular exchange, the Kraken exchange. And you know, if what they're advertising here works as promised, if it's actually trustworthy, and they would need to prove that via audit. If it is, like, I want every exchange to do this, and I'll explain as we get through this. And then last but not least, there was this article also from You Today titled XRP versus SEC. John Deaton makes another argument for SEC's incompetence. And they go on to cover something that I made a video about literally just yesterday. But I wanted to share with you John Deaton's take on this. It's on this the fact that, and this is pretty cool actually, there's a major bank with the equivalent of like billions of dollars in assets under management. Like, this bank is literally giving XRP to its customers as a reward function. It's incredible stuff. And so I was joking yesterday, well, look at that bank giving out that XRP security. But look, before we go any further, I do want to be clear. I do not have a legal or financial background of any kind. I am not offering legal or financial advice. And you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. And so look, as far as I'm concerned, this is just more proof that money is coming. It's just another thing to look at and be like, yep, crazy boatloads of money, definitely coming, and we are here first. It's in that category. So again, the article's title, New Ripple Report Reveals 76% of Financial Institutions Expect to Use Crypto by 2025. A new report by Ripple looking at what percentage of financial institutions are interested in using blockchain for payments has discovered that more than 3/4 of them plan to use crypto by 2025. Indeed, 76% of worldwide financial institutions want to utilize cryptocurrency over the next 3 years, provided that legislation permits it, according to the global study conducted by Ripple, published on August 11th. Now, meanwhile, at 71%, somewhat fewer businesses think they will employ crypto in the next 3 years, which is a departure from the general trend of firms being more open to digital assets and more hopeful about their disadvantages. But still, that's a major percentage regardless. And so part of what I wanted to point out here is that as this flows in, yes, it's great for us because, look, we want XRP to be worth way, way, way more. That's why everyone always asks, when Moon, when Lambo? And of course, the answer is Friday, 2 p.m. But for real, like, yes, we want the price to be higher, but I'm telling you, like, in terms of long-term viability, this is what Ripple needs. They need increased liquidity because in terms of how many payments you can facilitate utilizing XRP as a bridge currency, it depends on the mixture of price and liquidity that you have. So, for example, here, I pulled up Live Coin Watch for the sake of this video, just to get this idea across. Within the last 24 hours, global XRP transfers are only worth $682 million. $682 million in 24 hours. Okay, well, that's great compared to where, you know, XRP was back in like 2013 and 2014. It's crazy. Like, that number would have seemed unfathomable back then. XRP, and even with how much it was worth, half a penny back then, sometimes a little bit lower, and now it's at 38 cents. Even that, when people are like, whoa. But consider this, and this shows you how much work is yet to be done, but it may sound daunting, but I believe it's doable for a lot of reasons. the number that I recall in terms of global, like international payments on a daily basis, $5 trillion. That was a ballpark number, and I can't remember what entity reported that. I've talked about the number before. $5 trillion. So you're talking about XRP, 682 million a day. There's nowhere near enough liquidity, which is why I've also said many times in the past, although price may be more important to us than liquidity, not that liquidity doesn't matter to us, because if there's no liquidity, then who are you selling to, right? And then you're stuck. So liquidity matters to us, but I'm just saying price matters to us more as individual speculators and holders of XRP if you want to sell. So, but here's the thing. If you want to use XRP as a bridge currency, then liquidity is more important than price. And it's easy to understand why. So imagine that XRP is some wacky high price. Just make it up. Just say, even say it's $1,000, whatever was wacky high to you. Okay, great. It's $1,000, except if nobody's buying and selling in a market where you want to use XRP as a bridge currency, there's no liquidity and you can't use it no matter how technologically it is advanced it is, no matter how well it is coded to be great for payments. If nobody's buying and selling it in any market, you can't use it for that purpose. So that's why I'm saying with all this money flowing in, if there's that much flowing in that, even within just a few years, there's going to be that much more liquidity. Ripple can open up that many more on-demand liquidity corridors. It's going to instill that much more confidence. So if it actually unfolds like that, like this could be quite incredible for XRP, frankly. So, very optimistic. We'll see what happens. It's not like I can actually reach into the future and see how this unfolds, but damn. And then the piece also stated the following. The widespread usage of cryptocurrencies for payments is the most important factor for businesses and financial institutions to take into consideration when deciding whether or not to include cryptocurrency in their investment portfolio. The utility of cryptocurrency as a hedge of some kind comes in second, while the associated use of crypto as a bridge currency comes in third. And so I will admit, I was a little surprised about that. The number one use is for cryptocurrencies for payments, even on the institutional side. If anything, I would have believed a hedge against tumultuous times, or just for the sake of diversity, something to that effect. But for actual payments, it's such a small percentage of overall crypto transactions that account for any sort of actual usage in the world of payments. It's almost entirely speculative, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm just noting that is reality. But still, even to see, that they do care that crypto could be used as a bridge currency, and that came in third. You know what? I'll still take that, because however it's ranked, it doesn't matter as long as it's XRP solving one real problem for real businesses and or people. If it's just solving one thing, then it's not going to go away. If there's real utility there, I just don't think humans abandon that. I just don't think that's how this works. And then to take a look at this also, there's this headline kind of along the same lines from Cointelegraph. Global Bitcoin adoption to hit 10% by 2030. Blockware report. The adoption of Bitcoin could occur more rapidly than the adoption of past disruptive technologies, such as automobiles and electric power, with global take-up likely to hit 10% by 2030, according to a new report. In its Wednesday report, Blockware Intelligence said it arrived at this forecast by examining historical adoption curves for 9 past disruptive technologies, including automobiles, electric power, smartphones, the internet, and social media, along with the growth rate of Bitcoin adoption since 2009. And here's a quote. All disruptive technologies follow a similar exponential S-curve pattern, but newer network-based technologies continue to be adopted much faster than the market expects, end quote. And there is, for those of you that look at the screen for these videos, there's a chart worth taking a look at. Check this out. This is interesting. It shows you how truly early on we are. Which is why, even if you ever feel impatient, that's normal. I don't really ever feel impatient, but I'm weird. So if you ever feel impatient, you're a normal person, that's fine. But that's why it's worth reminding yourself of these facts. Like, there's almost no actual adoption on this planet. It's such a small percentage of humans that have ever held Bitcoin. Like 2 to 3% is the best estimate I found. Way less than 1% for XRP. It's like a fraction of a percent. It's almost nobody. And so if this is going to take off, it's going to be big. That's why I've said, in terms of, from my perspective, investing in XRP is a binary bet. Either it's going to be worth an absolute fortune or it's going to zero. It's one or the other. A 1 or a 0. A 1 or a 0. You see what I'm saying? It's a binary bet. And I'm betting that it's going to be worth a freaking fortune. So take a look at this. Using the average and weighted average of historical technology adoption curves, as well as the growth rate of Bitcoin adoption. The report was then able to arrive at its prediction. It said that based on a metric called cumulative sum of net entities growth and Bitcoin's predicted CAGR of 60%, we forecast that global Bitcoin adoption will break past 10% in the year 2030. Okay, well, that would be a faster pace than what we saw in the first 10 to 13 years, so I'll take it. I just wonder if it can't move faster once things get rolling. If Bitcoin's going to be here forever, 10%, if we're at 2 to 3% right now after 13 years, I mean, yeah, so again, that would be way faster. That's just 8 years out. I understand. I'll take it. I'm just wondering if it couldn't be even bigger, perhaps. But that's why when they shared this chart, they're saying we are here, 2022. But in terms of the S-curve growth, this is historically how you see new technology get adopted. So it's slow at first. Maybe there's not a good user interface. Not many people know about it, but then word of mouth spreads. And then you get this exponential increase in terms of adoption. And then ultimately, it's there are some laggards that adopt the technology last, and a very small percentage may never at all. And they'll just die off and that'll be it. But in general, that's how this type of thing works. So we definitely got that to look forward to so far as I'm concerned. Which is why to anybody out there that's worried about this stuff, it's like, look, I'm not telling you to buy or sell or hold, make your own financial decisions. I'm not pretending to be some sort of guru hero. I am just a dude on the internet. I am not the least bit worried about this stuff. In terms of long-term viability, no. There's going to be a boatload of money coming in. It's just the biggest blessing in my entire life that I came across crypto when I did. And I was wondering if I was a little late, right when I jumped in, because I was still learning about where we were in terms of adoption, this and that. The thought crossed my mind, but I quickly realized, no, I'm not late. I'm early. I'm early in 2017. Even people jumping in now, no, you're early, okay? And then there's this from you today, Cardano, XRP's new feature added by Kraken Exchange for users. And again, if this is audible and this actually works, I would love to see this adopted by every cryptocurrency exchange on the planet, especially considering what happened with the likes of Celsius, which is basically like a crypto bank that was really a Ponzi scheme, right? Because it's an audit feature. Check this out. Top crypto exchange Kraken has expanded its support for Cardano and XRP users. The crypto exchange, in a recent blog post, announced the addition of new assets, Bitcoin, ETH, USDT, USDC, XRP, Cardano, and DOT, to the proof of asset audit. The proof of reserves audit is an accounting procedure that enables clients who hold these assets on the exchange to independently verify that their Kraken balances are indeed backed by real assets secured by the global exchange. So, pause. Hopefully that's self-evident as to why that would be important and highly useful. Because there is a move that was started by the guy's name. What was his name? Something Mayer, Trace Mayer. I don't know. He's one of the earliest well-known names in the world of Bitcoin and crypto, dating back to practically the inception of Bitcoin. But he had this thing that he started pushing for, 5-6 years ago. And it was called Proof of Keys, where he was encouraging people to take their crypto off of exchanges on a specific date to make sure that exchanges the world over could handle that type of pressure. Because if they have the assets, it's not a problem. If they don't have the assets, it's a big problem, because then they won't be able to fulfill all the requests for those assets for their customers. So if you could, instead of doing that, if there's a way, if this is actually bulletproof here, if you could actually just know for sure, and they've got the technology in place, and you can say, no, here's what's actually being held, I think that would go a long way to build trust. That would be absolutely fantastic so far, as I'm concerned. Kind of surprised I haven't heard about anything like this before. So, I mean, if there are other exchanges doing this, then kudos to them. I just happen to be unaware of them. This is the first I've ever seen of anything like this. It's that's some pretty cool stuff, actually. Anyway, the recently released audit carried out by global accounting firm Armanino LLP determined that Kraken securely held all of the above assets belonging to clients on its exchange, as well as that held in Kraken's industry-leading on-chain and off-chain staking services. So there you go. Interesting idea. And XRP's a part of it. How about that? And then there's this from you today, XRP versus SEC. John Deaton makes another argument for SEC's incompetence. Yeah, that's not exactly hard, but John Deaton's really good at it. So again, this story, I'm not going to read the actual story. I just want to pull up the tweet that they referenced to make the story. He was referencing, again, a video it was about a video I happened to have made. He wasn't referencing my video, but I made a video about this topic literally yesterday. And there was a bank based out of Tokyo that was offering XRP as rewards for customers that do various things, whether it's setting up a checking account or fulfilling a transaction. And so these are obviously behaviors that they want the customer to go through to get them acclimated to the system so that they're less likely to have customers go back to whatever they were doing before they became a customer of that bank. It's for retention purposes to get them on board. And so they're actually offering XRP. Now, in response to that, here's what Attorney John Deaton had to say. Somebody better tell the SEC that a bank in Japan is transferring illegal securities. I mean, Gerber Gruel, and so this is the 61st Attorney General of New Jersey, Gerber Gruel testified under oath that the SEC doesn't engage in selective enforcement, even though he and his lawyers are absurdly arguing XRP itself is a security. This bank in Japan is offering Bitcoin and XRP rewards to their customers. Why would a bank equate Bitcoin and XRP like that? Doesn't this bank know about the SEC and its claims against XRP? Oh wait, everyone knows the SEC is violating 76 years of precedent. Yeah, no kidding. But they're treating it the same. Like to every other country on the planet, they're just like, okay, United States, you're idiots, just do whatever the hell you want to do. But XRP is decentralized. You can't tell us what to do. It's a cryptocurrency. It's a decentralized cryptocurrency, not a security. They are treating XRP the same as Bitcoin. And you should treat them the same. They're both decentralized cryptos. You can argue about which one's more decentralized. I'd argue XRP, just because of the nature of what mining is. But setting that aside, they're still both decentralized. I think that's fair to say. Still grinds my gears, folks. Grinds my gears. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.